After 3 long years, I finally started traveling for work again. The only problem was, I didn't even know where to start with what gadgets and what stuff I needed to bring with me, besides the obvious phone and AirPods. I'm Jason Cipriani, and in this ZDNET video, I'm going to walk you through what's currently in my bag now that I'm traveling for work again. It's going to be a fun one. All right, I am going to reach in and grab stuff at random. What I pull out, there's only 5 things on this list, but these are the 5 must-haves that I have in my bag with me now that I'm traveling again. And I've been using this GoPro backpack because, as you probably saw on the shoulder there, it has a mount for the GoPro, and I've been doing some cool time-lapse things. But let's open the bag. Let's see what's in here. I mean, I know what's in here. Let me show you what's in here. iPad mini. This is something I recently bought. This is a new addition to what I take with me, in that I'm using this not to get work done as far as like email and messaging and stuff like that goes, but I'm actually using it with the Apple Pencil and the GoodNotes app to take notes during meetings, as well as using the Kindle app to read. And I have a few other news apps set up so I can keep up on what's going on with news. It's the 6th gen Apple iPad mini. I have the Apple Pencil 2nd gen. And then also, you probably can't see it on here, but there's a matte screen protector on here. It's called Paper-like, and that exists solely so when you're writing with the pencil on the display, instead of it feeling really slippery and not like you're writing on paper, the Paper-like screen protector gives a paper-like feeling when you're writing on the iPad mini. So this has become a staple in my bag for work, but not as I would normally use like my iPad Pro. All right, what else do we have in here? Firewalla Purple. So here is the Firewalla Purple. It is a small, almost Raspberry Pi-like device that is essentially a portable firewall that you could take with you and set up in your hotel. I had used it here at home on my home network until I got the Firewalla Gold, and now I have the Gold Plus, which is a 2.5 gigabit per second capable firewall. So now this goes with me, and what I do is I connect this to the hotel Wi-Fi or Ethernet. I have yet to run into an Ethernet cable that works in a hotel though, so it's usually Wi-Fi. And then it broadcasts my own Wi-Fi network that I can connect all of my devices to. And now they remember that network because I've used it so much in the last few months. And it creates a firewall on the go for me, so I don't have to worry about all the stuff you normally have to worry about on a hotel's Wi-Fi network. But even more so, I'm able to connect the Purple to the Gold Plus back at home and create a site-to-site VPN, which encrypts all of my traffic on the hotel network's Wi-Fi. But it also treats my connection as if I'm at home, so I can manage my server, I can access some apps I have set up on my server, and do all the little things that I would normally do if I was home, and instead of being away from the network and saying, sorry, I can't help with that if something goes wrong, my wife or kids need help, I'm able to do that through this. So plug it in, set it up. It takes a couple of minutes. It actually has worked out really well. We even went on a family trip here recently, and I set this up, and the kids all connected to it. It made it really seamless and easy for everyone to keep their Wi-Fi connection at the hotel secure. So what about a computer? Now, normally I take an iPad Pro with me. The cellular connection built into it. I love working on the iPad Pro, even with all the issues iPadOS 16 has, although they're getting better. But recently, Apple sent me the new MacBook Air, the M2 MacBook Air, to review and use. And I love this thing. It's the 13-inch MacBook Air. It's the new design. So you have a few color options. You have the notch, the lovely notch on there. It is, honestly, it is so light and portable and easy to take with me. I at 2 different points when I first started traveling with it, I had to stop in the middle. Once was in the middle of the airport, and the other was on the way to a briefing, and check that I actually included and remembered to put the MacBook Air in my backpack, and I hadn't forgot it back either at the hotel or at home. I have the 8 gigabyte of memory version with 512 gigabyte of storage. which is about $1,500, I believe. And I have had no issues with, this is the first Mac in probably over a decade I've had with less than 8 gig or less than 16 gigs of RAM. And I haven't had any issues or hiccups where I've noticed really big slowdowns that would be memory related. In fact, the M2 chip is pretty fast, so I haven't seen really any slowdowns. When I open a bunch of photos in Pixelmator Pro and I'm bouncing back and forth and doing a lot of machine learning enhancing and all that, I may see a little sluggishness due to memory, but at the same time, like, it's not a huge deal. I'm not editing video. I'm not doing a whole bunch of stuff. For me, the 8 gigs has been more than enough. You might want to future-proof your investment because who knows how long you'll use this and go with 16, but I can vouch for 8 gigs on the MacBook Air, M2 MacBook Air. And also this color is pretty slick as well, isn't it? I think this is the Midnight. Does scratch, or at least show grease quite a bit. But man, it's nice. You got 2 USB-C ports. MagSafe is back. You can use MagSafe to charge it. Light, portable, powerful. I don't know what else you would want in a laptop you're taking with you. When I send that back to Apple, which I think is due here soon, I'm going to really miss it. iPad Pro will probably go back in my bag at that point. All right, what else do we have in here? Anker 747 wall charger. So this thing uses their GaN Prime technology, keeps it somewhat small. The problem with this, and this is my biggest complaint about it, and it's a heavy complaint, pun intended, is that it is so heavy. And the fold-out prongs are great, but when you plug it into the wall, most outlets it just falls right out of. It's just too heavy. It doesn't stay in place. So they do include this ring here that has suction cups on the back, goes over the back of the charger, and it does help hold it in place. And this is for vertical outlets, of course. Horizontal ones, like on the desk or something like that, this is a non-issue. But there's 3 USB-C ports, a standard USB-A port, up to 150 watts of output. It automatically identifies how much power each device plugged into it needs and when it needs it, meaning once it's done charging, it switches the power to another device until that device is done charging. With this, I'm able to charge my iPhone, my iPad mini, the MacBook Air, and power the Firewalla Purple off of a single outlet, which is fantastic and works great for me. Highly recommend for traveling. I think it's $109, so it's a little pricey, but worth it if you have a lot of devices. All right, let's see. There's supposed to be an AirPod or an AirTag in here, but it seems to be missing, which is ironic. Use this if you can. Found it. And I think that proves why this is so valuable. It's something that's in my backpack as well as my suitcase, is Apple's AirTag. This is Nomad's leather case, key ring thing that clips into my backpack here. It makes it so easy to keep track of your lost items. I lost a suitcase years ago, and it was an ordeal. I was flying to Vegas for CES. Airline lost my suitcase, told me they didn't know when I'd get it back, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. When it finally did show up a day later, it had 2 broken wheels. You could tell it had been beat up. Looked like it got sandwiched in a machine, to be honest with you. While adding an AirTag won't prevent it from getting lost, at least I'll be able to use my iPhone to say, hey, to the airline, this is where the suitcase is, or this is where it was last seen. Can you please track it down? And it'll speed up the recovery of my suitcase and personal belongings. You can get a 4-pack of these for $100. Not too bad. The battery lasts a little over a year. I've been slowly replacing batteries over the last few months as I've had these that long, and the batteries have started to die. So those are 5 gadgets, 5 things I have in my backpack now that I'm traveling again. Hopefully they inspired you to either make some similar decisions or triggered ideas on your behalf for what you need to put in your bag when you start traveling again for work. I've absolutely loved seeing all the people that I used to see when I would regularly travel once again, and it has been great to get back out on the road. I'm Jason Cipriani. Thanks for watching this ZDNET video. Make sure to check out zdnet.com for more tech tips, news, and guides just like this one.